Welcome back to another Alliance War video. We have our 7th war of the season, and they banned Corvus, Ghost, and Hulkling. So some different bans today. I only have 4 fights. I do not know the name of this alliance, but we will be bringing in Shuri to war. She's always a great option for attack with this meta. We will also be bringing in White Magneto. I'm bringing him in for a Kingpin fight, and Photon. White Magneto is being used for one fight, really just so I can use him for pre-fights across the map. And Shuri will be handling the bulk of the of my fight, which is only 4, like I said. So this is a short war, and the next one is a short war. So I'm combining War 7 and War 8. Let's get into the first fight. I have this Kingpin, like I said. He is rank 5, and he's on path 5. He's on this debuff immunity on knockdown, which kind of gimps Kingpin a little bit. I'm using a pre-fight so I can parry him at will and get the knockdown, and I get the protection down with it, and then I have a Shuri right after, and that's why I'm bringing in Photon so I can parry her and heavy her. I have a Silk on path 1 in section 2, and a Mangog on buffet, which I'm going to be using Shuri for since she does not gain a dex buff. And then just looking at the rest of the map, and this is our boss. We had assigned a Black Cat to it with Mad Cat, but we moved it to a different counter. I believe Trappy took it and got a great solo there. This fight I didn't expect to be difficult. The biggest problem here is really catching a SB1 to the face if it's unblockable, and the degen will kill you. So that's kind of like the biggest worry if he doesn't get friendly with his SB1. Go for the knockdown right away. He loses all his rage stacks, so his combat power rate is normal. He is ascended, he's beefy. So what ended up happening though is, and I sped this up just a little bit, is as I get the knockdown and the fury, I'm trying to do damage, and it's just him throwing a special 1 or baiting it out, the fury goes away. So now I go into this loop to where I'm like, okay, he's at an SB1, I need him to throw it, and by the time he throws it, half my fury is gone. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna throw this special 2 and try to get that damage. So, you know, a minute's gone by and he's not even at 50%. And I'm like, okay, what should I do? I didn't want to throw any class boosts on because it's just really not needed for this, and I can save them for a different war. So he's just not throwing his special 1 here, and I'm like, okay, finally he throws it. I decide to push him through to a special 1 again. I use the relic to get the knockdown here, and I want him to throw this special 1 so I can get the most uptime on my fury and throw this special 2. I probably should have gone special 3 because I think it would have done more damage just than the special 2, and I would have got a cruelty from it. But regardless, he's going down just fine, just really slow. He's, 2 minutes have gone by at this point, and I'm really feeling like Trevor selling on fight time, but it's okay. I can make up for it later in the war, and at this point he's basically dead. And I could have actually had a better counter here, more powerful, I guess. This is a rank 4 versus a rank 5 ascended, but like I said, we can use these pre-fights on the map, which is ideal for the battle group. So for this Shuri, it's on ebb and flow knockdown and heavy unstoppable. Photon can parry non-contact hits, so I can parry Shuri. I knock her down, and typically when I take Shuri, I like taking her with Photon. This is a rank 1 7-star versus a rank 3 7-star Shuri. But typically when I take Shuri, I get that Sunder debuff, and then all my debuffs, obviously Photon just ends up, building her damage as the fight goes on. But because this is ebb and flow knockdown and she purifies all my stuff, it kind of like slows down my my damage. It's really frustrating, because this fight, is just going a lot slower than I would like. But ultimately, the same thing's gonna happen. This is my only photon fight, so I really don't care about chip damage. I was possibly thinking of taking her into Mangog, but I just rather not deal with Buffet there, especially with the regen activating, interacting with the node. So at this point, it's just a matter of trying to do as much damage while her protection is down and my fury is up. So I want to make sure I knock her down, and then she, can throw this special one and rather quickly. And she is being friendly with it, so I want to get to my special one and throw it to get the fury back up. That was perfectly timed right there. And at this point, I want to maximize my my Pure of Light. So the protection's back, and I'm like, okay, I want to get this heavy down, and then I'm in Pure of Light. But I need her to come at me, and I can throw this SB1 and get a good chunk right there. Didn't really feel like it did that much, but I'm going to push her to SB2 just to maximize this. I don't know, she actually throws a special one. And I'm just like, okay, well, she's going to die from this in the Relic anyway. So much longer than I would want to be. Want the fights to go in Section 1, but ultimately very safe. Now we're moving to Shuri on attack. I just recently took a Silk boss that had suicides, so the fight was super fast. It was like a minute, maybe less than a minute, I think. But this fight, actually, I'm just going to parry and then 5-hit combo, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I want to block her. I can block her unblockable specials because she's tactic and Shuri is duped. So I really just want to build my my shocks. I can block this, and then I want to throw my SB1 after this. I'm going to do a 5-hit combo and throw my SB1. She can't evade my special attacks, so really it's just a matter of building those crit shocks with my combo and building power. There I miss a parry and she hits me, but I have an indestructible boost because I am afraid of Silk. I heavy right there just to turn my shock debuffs into crit shocks and let the DOT basically kill her, because that's exactly what would have played out if she would have survived a little longer. Now I have this Mangog, and the plan here basically is to do a short combo and then parry and then repeat to an SB1, and that's so I don't build his rage stacks or whatever they're called. But he has little, he starts with 3, and if you do a full 5-hit combo, then he gains 1. If he throws a special 1, he gains more. And when he gets to 10, he goes unstoppable and unblockable. And you have to wait it out or intercept him with a special to remove the unstoppable. So you see here, I get my first special one up, and I'm over 10 shock debuffs. So I block this special too. Takes more chip damage than I thought it would, but the plan is basically, working out at this point. Do short combos. I throw my special 1. I have 11 shock debuffs, which gives me more precisions that can help me turn my hits into critical shocks. And at this point, he has 15 crit shocks. He's ticking for about 2.1k, I think it is right there. Yeah. And I convert all of them to crit shocks, my shock debuffs, and he's over 3k a tick. I block this, and he's gonna die at this point. I'm going to combo into a special 1, but he dies before that happens. So that was my war. Second section, super fast, super easy. First section, kind of slow and boring. We did end up winning this war, so this was our 7th win in a row. Shout out to Clown, Karate Mike, and Legacy for the MVPs on this war. And we're on a pretty good winning streak at this point. We started out in tier 2. We are in Masters. At this point, after this war, we are heading into top 10 in Masters, actually. So the matchups are definitely going to get more difficult, and we see that as we move into and face Nefti next. And they are a very good alliance. They are I think top 10 each of the last like 4 or 5 seasons. I think they are a bunch of XGT40 or their mini accounts, but they're a very skilled alliance. Very, kudos to them. Very good in war, and so we have our hands full. And for this war, I'm bringing in America Chavez, OG Iron Man, and I am bringing in Venom. I don't remember who they banned. I'm pretty sure it was Ghost, Scorp, and Shuri, if I remember correctly. Didn't make it in the video, but I've only path fights this war, and yeah, let's get into it. So I'm on path 8 in section 1. I'll be taking a Hulkling. That's what America Chavez is for, and then right after I'm taking a Spider-Ham. I'm using Venom for him because he can't evade versus Venom, and the thought process basically would be to just dex the rooted SB1 and let the bleeds kill him before he can get bad. So I put max deep wounds on, and I just figured, I have an R2 duped Venom with a 5-star relic, and then I'll be taking this Apocalypse, Ascended Apocalypse on path 8, and then this Gore, who's always scary because when he hits you, even through block, he can apply massive debuffs, and it's just a whole lot of pain. And then there's a Silk Boss that I'm not taking this war. We sent a Chi there this time around. So first up is this Hulkling. This node basically gives him a passive fury every time he has 3 or more buffs, and I think he gains it after a certain amount of time. So when I hit him, he's going to gain, buffs, and so then the node will trigger, especially when I knock him down, because he gains another buff. The more buffs Hulkling has, the harder he hits. So the plan basically here is just to get to my special 2 and try to time it with America Chavez, as it's already, his indestructible is already triggered. So here I throw, my first 2 special ones to get all 3 dimensions up, and I want to either get a parry or have him throw a special 1. I don't care which one it is, but here I trigger the indestructible mid heavy, and that way when I land my SB2, he is it's gone and he can die, since he has a whole lot of buffs, and she does more damage for every buff the opponent has. So R3 unduped America Chavez, putting in work. And so for this fight, I was like 99% sure I can dex his special 1 rooted. I did it in the gauntlet a long time ago when I took him with Professor X, and since he has energized, basically I just stayed in that corner dexing SB1s until I got to my special 3. So I wasn't really worried about it, but obviously when you're in war, you are worried about everything. So I'm like, okay, I started out with some precisions, which I actually liked because I could get some bleeds. I would like some cruelties, but it's all right. At this point, I'm like, okay, let me bait this SB1, and I take 1 hit, 2 hits to the face, and I'm like, okay, well, that's why I threw the indestructible boost on. But now I know that I can't take another one to the face, because he has, he has a fury and then another one if I, the closer I am to him. So I'm trying to dex this, and I throw this special 2 because I don't have a pork popper. And at this point, I throw my relic, and I did that basically just to melt him down, and then the relic to buy time. I was going to throw my special 1 and just count on the bleeds killing him, which they did. So that fight, it wasn't scary, then it got kind of scary, then it didn't. So it was fine. Venom's a great counter there. I think we sent an R3 Venom there before, and he melted him before he throws special. So and it had a 6-star relic, so it definitely helped. For this fight, Iron Man can block unblockable specials for mutants, so I don't need to get a taunt, but I did want to, because if available, I did want to get it, because the taunt also does, it power drains them completely when they throw a special. So right there, he was at 2 bars when he threw it. So it's not that big a deal, because, and same right there, he was at 1 bar because he's not losing any other power. But basically, if you can get the taunt, even with OG Iron Man, but especially with other tactic defenders or attackers, see right here, he's almost at 2 bars. He throws this, he loses all his power. that means it's less power I have to deal with in the fight. So I'm not really so much focused on my damage rotation. I threw the first special one at the beginning of the fight to remove his prowess, and then after that, it's really just a more of dancing with him to get the intercept that I want from him. So right here, he's not taunted, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw the special one, and it kills him. I was just gonna push him and then block the special after. So that went rather smooth. And this Gore is unduped. I asked a buddy of mine to send me a fight of an unduped Gore to see how many buffs he starts with, because the more buffs they have on this node, the more power they get. So I need 2 negative zones to basically reverse any power gain off of this node. But it also makes it tricky for openings because it has power efficiency, but if I'm reversing too much power, then it gets under a bar, and I want to bait SB1s so I don't have to parry for an opening. But if he goes under a bar, then I have to parry. And the more buffs he has on him, see right here, he has a bunch, then the more likely is that he's able to place a debuff on me, even through the block or when he hits me. So here, perfectly fine. I throw another a full heavy to get 3 negative zones up, and it is reversing some of his power. I combo into a heavy into my special one here, and at this point I just want to bait one more special one because I know the SB2 is going to kill with all those buffs. So I throw 1 hit, special 2, and boom, he's dead. So that was my war. Super quick and easy. Unfortunately, we did lose this war, so our winning streak is over. Shout out to Clown, Trappy, and Karate Mike for the MVPs. We hadn't lost an off-season war at all, which never happens for us because we don't really try at all in off-season. I mean, we're lucky if we 100% in off-season. That's how checked out we are in off-season wars. But we won all of them, and we won the first 7 wars of the season. And we put up a stinker for this one. We definitely did not play our best. So we're hoping to bounce back in the next war and get back on the winning streak. We're still in Masters even after this loss, but we obviously want to close out the last 3 wars of the season, or the last few wars of the season strong. So we'll see you guys in the next one.